Okay, I'm back, and we've got 6 games to cover, starting with Game 7 against Sidney Crosby and the Pittsburgh Penguins. But real quick, look how cozy Coach Rick Tocchet was in his pre-game interview. And I don't blame him either. With the Canucks on a 3-game win streak heading into this one, I was feeling pretty cozy myself. What a legend. Anyway, Vancouver got an early power play, but they couldn't capitalize on it. In fact, the best scoring chance was for the Penguins, and if it weren't for Kevin Lankinen, it would have been 1-0 for Pittsburgh. Just a heads up, Vancouver's struggling power play is going to be a theme throughout this video. They're losing puck battles along the boards. Instead of making the simple play, they're throwing the puck in dangerous areas, which almost always leads to an interception. And even when they finally get set up in the offensive zone, they're not connecting on simple passes like this one. I don't get it. I know they're not going to score on every man advantage, but with players like Quinn Hughes, Elias Pettersson, JT Miller, and Brock Boeser on the ice, you think they'd at least get a shot on net, right? Anyway, the Penguins scored just minutes after Vancouver's power play ended, and it was the ex-Canuck Anthony Beauvillier who did it. 1-0 Pittsburgh. Then Tyler Myers was called for high sticking, giving the Penguins a power play of their own, but here's the thing. We can complain about the Canucks power play all we want, but let's make sure we also acknowledge just how lights out the penalty kill has been so far this season. They're winning puck battles along the boards, they're doing a great job of collapsing low and keeping the puck to the outside, and they're not afraid to forecheck and kill time in the offensive zone. It's beautiful. Arshdeep Bains set Daniel Sprong up for a scoring chance, but Nedeljkovic was able to stop it. And the Penguins goaltender wasn't done there. Here he is making 2 great saves on back-to-back shots from Pius Suter and Nils Höglander. Vancouver got another power play late in the first period, and I'm happy to say that this one looked a lot better than their first. However, they still couldn't capitalize, which is especially concerning considering it was a 4-minute double minor. And just like the first failed power play, the Penguins scored shortly after it ended. 2-0 Pittsburgh. At that point, Vancouver looked like they were completely out of this game. And now I know a 2-0 deficit is nothing when there's still 39 minutes left to play, but with the way the Canucks were playing, it really didn't feel all that hopeful. Until this happened.
Bunting cutting towards the goal, puts one in front, Lankinen the save off Letang.
Not only did this killer save by Lankinen get the crowd back into it, but I truly believe it turned the whole game around for the Canucks, because just over a minute later, this happened.
Connor Garland, Pettersson scores!
7 games into the season, Elias Pettersson finally scores thanks to the hard work of, you guessed it, Connor Garland. 2-1 Pittsburgh.
A few moments later.
Luger with Sherwood taking Luger, Sherwood scores!
2-2, tie game.
Moments later.
JT Miller, stopping Nedeljkovic, it's in!
Yeah, so the Canucks ended up scoring 3 goals in just 65 seconds. 3 goals in 65 seconds. 3-2 Canucks. And to think, even after all that, the fans in Rogers Arena were about to get even louder. That's right, in his 12th NHL game, the hometown boy Arshdeep Bains scored his first career goal to make it 4-2 for the team he grew up cheering for. And as if it needed to get any more special for him, that goal ended up being the game winner, and the Canucks won 4-3, extending their win streak to 4 games.
Where's the puck gonna go? I'm gonna go see my dad, give it to him right away, and then I'll see what he does with it.
Oh, and shout out to these psychic nuckheads for predicting the score of Game 7 right. Now, on to Game 8 against the speedy Carolina Hurricanes. Also, real quick, huge props to Jugpreet Juggy Jag Bajwa for singing the absolute shit out of the US national anthem before the game. Seriously, listen to the pipes on this guy.
And the home of the brave.
Anyway, Kevin Lankinen was a net again for Vancouver, and here he is adding yet another great save to his 2024-2025 highlight reel. Carson Soucy made a nice defensive play to keep the puck out of Carolina's possession, but then Vincent Desharnais muffed the breakout pass and the Hurricanes came right back and scored. 1-0. Quinn Hughes was doing his best Quinn Hughes impression. Then JT Miller forced his way into the offensive zone, spun around the net, and set Brock Boeser up for his 5th goal in his 8th game, keeping him on pace for another 40-goal season. 1-1. And then, just 2 minutes later, Arshdeep Bains scored his 2nd goal in as many games to make it 2-1 for the Canucks, except Pius Suter was offside on the play, so it didn't count. Still 1-1. Then Miller got called for holding, but thanks to another great save by Lankinen, the Canes didn't score. But they scored right after. 2-1. Just so you guys know, at the start of this season, I had a beautiful head of hair, but after just 7.5 games, it looks like this. Should I be worried?
The Hurricanes break in, Burns across, they score!
3-1. But then, the Canucks were gifted their first power play of the night right when they needed it most. a perfect chance to get themselves back in the game. Let's break it down. Step 1. Set up in the offensive zone. If JT Miller can win this faceoff and get the puck back to Quinn Hughes, they'll be set up in the offensive zone and ready to attack. But here's the problem. He's up against Carolina's captain Jordan Staal, who's won over 11,000 faceoffs in his career, which, in case you're wondering, puts him in 6th place all time since they started tracking the stat back in 2005. He's in the company of legends like Patrice Bergeron, Anze Kopitar, Jonathan Toews, and Sidney Crosby. So yeah, Miller lost the faceoff. However, when the Hurricanes tried to clear the puck out, Elias Pettersson read the play perfectly and was able to keep it in the zone, giving his team a second chance to complete step 1. But here's where I start flipping cars. If we rewind a second, you'll see that when the Canes attempted the clear, Brock Boeser just assumed the puck was going to leave the zone and he stopped skating. So when Petey managed to hold the line and send the puck down the boards, Boeser wasn't there to keep possession. Instead, Carolina was given a second chance to clear it, and this time they did. But with over a minute and a half still remaining in the man advantage, if the Canucks can just get set up in the offensive zone, they'll have enough time and talent on the ice to do some damage. So Connor Garland gained the zone, but right when he tried to ring the puck around the boards to JT Miller, Carolina defender Dmitry Orlov poked it off his stick. That simple move by Orlov was enough to disrupt the entire rhythm of the play Vancouver was attempting to run. Because by the time Garland regained possession and sent the puck around for Miller, the Hurricanes' penalty killers had already read the play and adjusted accordingly, so when the puck finally reached Miller, he had almost no space to work with. Forced to make a quick decision, JT passed it back to an empty spot where he expected Quinn Hughes to be, but no one was there. Fortunately, the Canucks captain was able to react in time to keep the puck in the zone, but with the Killers now closing in on him, he just lobbed it on net, hoping the Hurricanes goalie would hold on for a whistle. But with no Canucks pressuring in front, Kochetkov felt comfortable handing the puck off to one of his defenders, allowing the Canes to clear it again. Still, Vancouver had over a minute of power play time remaining and could still make something happen if they could just get set up in the offensive zone. But on their third attempt to do that, they got their signals crossed and didn't even make it past the red line before turning it over and allowing Hurricanes forward Seth Jarvis to skate the puck around for 15 valuable seconds before clearing it down the ice again. Vancouver's second unit came out at that point and managed to get a shot on net, but that was it. Seems pretty terrible, right?
Oh no, we should be so worried about the Canucks, right?
No, not at all. We're talking about Game 8 of an 82-game season. There's gonna be learning curves, there's gonna be growing pains, and it's worth mentioning that the Hurricanes have had the best penalty kill in the entire league for the past 13 seasons! Sorry, did you guys catch that? The Carolina Hurricanes have killed off 83.7% of all the penalties they've taken since 2012, which is better than every other team in the league. That's insane. So no, I don't think us Canucks fans need to worry about the power play, at least not yet. However, that last failed attempt really took a toll on the vibes of the game. The crowd was quiet and stressed and the players were frustrated. Until, guess who? Kevin Lankinen. He made 3 huge saves back to back to keep the score the same, and not only did he get the crowd back into it, but he pulled his teammates back into the fight as well, and the Canucks were buzzing. Look at this, Captain Quinn was a Beyblade out there, spinning and swerving, turning ankle bones to powder. Vinny Desharnais chimed in too and saved what was going to be a surefire goal, a highlight reel one too. Pius Suter had a chance to score but was denied by Kochetkov. Then Connor Garland almost pulled off an end-to-end rush looking like a mini Connor McDavid in slow motion. Soucy made a great defensive play, knocking the puck off Andrei Svechnikov's stick right before he could get a shot off. Then Quinn Hughes blasted one past Kochetkov to cut Carolina's lead to just 1 goal with 12 minutes left in the game. And then, like a storybook, the Hurricanes were called for delay of game, giving the struggling Canucks power play another opportunity to tie the game and show us what they're capable of. And guess what? They didn't. In fact, the best scoring chance was for the Hurricanes, but Lankinen made another incredible save to keep his team alive. Thank you so much, Lankinen, truly. Carson Soucy made another great defensive play, refusing to let the Carolina forechecker touch the puck after dumping it in. Then Jake DeBrusk had an incredible opportunity to tie the game with his first goal as a Canuck, and he made a great move too, but he just couldn't raise the puck over Kochetkov's leg, and the score remained 3-2 for the Hurricanes with just under 5 minutes left in the game. Until...
Sprong centers, chance for Suter, scores!
Look, I saw some Hurricanes fans mad that Kochetkov left his net on this play, but honestly, I think it was the right move. He made contact with the puck, but because it was rolling, he didn't quite get all of it and Sprong was able to keep possession. To me, the unfortunate part was what happened after. There's no way Sprong's pass should have made it through to Suter here. There were 4 Hurricanes players in between them. You'd think one of them would be able to get their stick on it, right? Well, one of them did, and it was Kochetkov. He accidentally deflected it right to the tape of Suter's stick. 3-3 headed to overtime. Let's see what happened. The Hurricanes won the faceoff and they won the game. The end. But hey, it's pretty cool that even after playing like garbage poo-poo for half the game against a team as good as the Hurricanes, the Canucks still managed to squeeze a point out of this one. Of course it was a team effort, but let's not kid ourselves. If it weren't for Kevin Lankinen, this game would have been over after the second period. Now, on to Game 9 against Quinn Hughes' little brothers Jack and Luke, also known as the New Jersey Devils. You know this game was going to be a good one. It was the Hughesapalooza. It was the battle of the brothers. It was a family feud.
They score on the first shot. It's Nico Hischier.
Oh, well, that was quick. Okay, 1-0 Devils. But thankfully, right after that goal, the Canucks were gifted a 4-minute double minor after Hughes was high-sticked. This should be good. Let's take a look at these highlights. That's it? No, that can't be right. Let's watch that again. That's the only shot they got? Okay. Then Danton Heinen got called for hooking, giving New Jersey their first power play of the game, but Vancouver was able to kill it off thanks to 2 fantastic defensive plays by Pius Suter. Then, at the end of the first period, Elias Pettersson had all the space in the world to snipe one home on his former teammate Jacob Markstrom, something I wouldn't expect from just any player, but Petey's proven that he can do this time and time again, and he just shot it right into Markstrom's stomach. Okay. I'm just gonna move past that. 1-0 Devils after 1. The Canucks were gifted another power play at the top of the second period, and finally there was a goal scored. Except it was for New Jersey. New Jersey scored on Vancouver's power play. 2-0 for the Demons. Guys, this is when my body really started to tense up. I'm serious, I was practically a statue on my couch. I knew I needed to take a relaxing break, so I called up my buddies over at KNEAD Massage Studio and scheduled a wonderful full-body massage. That's right, the sponsor of today's video is KNEAD. Open daily from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m., KNEAD's team of massage therapists offer head-to-toe massage services in a serene and soothing space designed for relaxation. There's a reason this place was voted Vancouver's best massage therapy clinic by the Georgia Straight in 2024. And guess what? They've got a special offer just for us nuckheads. If you click the top link in the description of this video and use the code NUCK10 when booking your appointment, KNEAD will give you 10% off your foot or body massage excluding RMT services. Located at 637 East 15th Avenue, KNEAD is the place to heal, recover, and disconnect. So do yourself a favor and click the top link in the description of this video and use code NUCK10 for 10% off your foot or body massage. It's already November and the year's about to end, so remember to book your RMT sessions and make the most of your health benefits. Now's the perfect time to prioritize relaxation and wellness, so schedule those massages you've been meaning to fit in. Anyway, the rest of this game is too painful for me to rehash the way I normally do it, so I think I need to do it through song. Petey threw a hit, Bains blocked a shot, the Devils scored. 3-0. Shelov's made a save, Garland fought a guy, the Devils scored. 4-0. Bluger got a chance, Sherwood tried to dance, the Devils scored. 5-0. Quinn did some spins, Bluger blocked a shot, the Devils scored. Covered in tears. 6-0. Punched a wall. I jumped down, my garbage shoot, the Devils won. 6-0. Yeah. Now, on to Game 10 against the Macklin Celebrini-less San Jose Sharks. Derek Forbort was back in the lineup after missing 6 games for personal reasons, and we're happy to have you back, Forby, or Bordy, or Forbes, Billy and Eric Bort, Ford, Derricky, DeRicky, Forbort, Roborts in disguise. I don't know, man. I don't have a nickname for him yet, but I'm happy he's back. Suter had a great chance to score, but couldn't beat Mackenzie Blackwood. Sherwood was spinning around in the corner, making space for himself to make a play, and he did. He delivered the puck right to Danton Heinen, who couldn't quite squeak his short side shot past Blackwood's shoulder. Also, this Heinen-Bluger-Sherwood line is still looking really good together. They have an undeniable chemistry, and it really begs the question. When Dakota Joshua comes back, is Rick Tocchet going to tear this line apart so they can reunite the trio of Joshua, Bluger, and Garland, aka the Lifeline? Or is he going to do what I want him to do, which is put Joshua and Garland with Pettersson? Because I would really like that. Tocchet, I know you're watching. Lankinen was back in net for the Canucks, making the necessary saves, but then the Sharks scored. 1-0. Please don't make me sing another song, guys. A battle of the woods took place. It was Sherwood getting robbed by Blackwood, but then Pius Suter scored thanks to the hard work of, do I even need to say it? Connor Garland, 1-1. Also, Pius Suter has been on fire lately. I've mentioned him so many times in this video already. The Canucks got a power play, but they didn't score. The Canucks got another power play, but they didn't score. Then, in the final minutes of a tie game, Brock Boeser hit the post. Brutal.
A few moments later.
Now it's up and DeBrusk, he scores! Jake DeBrusk!
Finally, in his 10th game as a Canuck, Jake DeBrusk scored his first goal of the season to put his team up by 1 with less than 5 minutes remaining. This string of games was fairly therapeutic if you think about it. I mean, we finally got a goal from Elias Pettersson, and we got to see Arshdeep Bains get his first of the year and of his career, and now Jake DeBrusk is on the board too. Hopefully they can all build on this momentum moving forward. I expect 50 goals from all 3 of them. Anyway, the Canucks were cruising to a 2-1 win.
Shoots, scores!
The amount of times I've tossed myself down the garbage chute and had to crawl my way back up only to jump back down again is insane. This is exhausting, but here I go.
Now centering pass, Suter scores! Pius Suter, his second of the game!
Of course, Suter scored his second goal of the game with 26 seconds left and the Canucks won 3-2. Awesome. Good job to these nuckheads for predicting the outcome of this one. Y'all are geniuses. Now, on to Game 11 against the Anaheim Ducks. And guys, in my opinion, this was the best game the Canucks have played all season. It felt like everyone was at their best, but the 2 biggest stars were Quinn Hughes and Kiefer Sherwood. And you'll see why by the end of this video. First, Atu Ratu was called up from Abbotsford and back in the lineup for Vancouver, and he looked pretty good. I liked his game. He was 77% in the faceoff circle, which is fantastic, but the first thing he did was take a penalty that the Ducks managed to capitalize on. So, yeah, 1-0 Anaheim. Kevin Lankinen, although he was barely challenged in this game, was still making nice saves like this one when necessary. Connor Garland threw a hit, Carson Soucy crashed into the boards, Kiefer Sherwood threw his league-leading 72nd hit, putting him on pace for 534 on the season, which would blow the all-time record out of the water if he pulls it off. I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see. JT Miller drew a penalty, but again, Vancouver couldn't capitalize on the power play. However, 5 minutes later, Nils Big Hog Höglander drew a penalty, and the Canucks were finally able to cash in on the ensuing man advantage thanks to Hughes and Boeser teaming up for a beautiful Sedin-esque slap pass goal. Tie game.
Sherwood shoots, he scores! Kiefer Sherwood with a one-timer off the rush.
Look at this shot from Kiefer the Beefer Chief Keef Sherwood. Also, what a pass by Eric Brandstrom. I'm geeking! 2-1 Canucks. Sherwood even had the nerve to chirp Trevor Zegras at the end of the first period. I love this guy. Then Hughes slapped one off Pettersson's stick to make it 3-1 for the good guys. Nils Höglander started targeting Ducks defender Urho Vakanainen. He crushed this guy at least 3 times, and it kind of started to feel like bullying. Bluger broke in on a breakaway, but Lucas Dostal was able to shut the door. Petey was shooting again. Garland was spinning around the ice. Quinn Hughes looked good. Like really, really good all game. DeBrusk tipped in his second goal in back-to-back games to make it 4-1 for Vancouver. A frustrated Trevor Zegras threw a tiny little itty-bitty temper tantrum, accidentally letting his shoulder collide with Garland's head on purpose. Gars was fine though, don't worry. And in case that wasn't enough insurance, Sherwood set Danton Heinen up for his 3rd of the season to make it 5-1 for the Canucks. That's 2 points for Sherwood, 2 points for Heinen, 2 points for Boeser, and 3 points for Captain Quinn Hughes, who, by the way, just became the 3rd fastest defenseman in NHL history to reach 300 career assists. The only players that did it faster than him were Brian Leetch and Bobby Orr. Anyway, after crushing the Ducks 5-1, the Canucks were feeling pretty confident heading into the final stop of their 3-game California road swing, Game 12 against the Los Angeles Kings. By the way, in 15 attempts, Vancouver has never won all 3 games on one of their California road trips, so let's see if they can make history.
Byfield cutting it on goal, Byfield scores!
1-0 Kings. Quinn Hughes drew a penalty, giving the Canucks their first power play of the game, and while they did look pretty dangerous at times, they didn't score. And to make matters more annoying, just 2 minutes later, Nils Höglander took a penalty he really shouldn't have taken, giving the Kings a chance to double their lead on the power play, but they got Lankinened. They got absolutely Kevined, and the score remained the same. Now, for this next part, I really need you guys to bring a friend or family member into the room with you so they can hold your fists back. I know the majority of you have already seen this, but trust me, it doesn't get any easier to watch. I went through 17 computers alone while editing just this one clip. Seriously, get someone to hold you back. Okay, so just over 10 minutes into the first period, out of nowhere, Kings forward Tanner Jeannot injured Brock Boeser with an illegal check to the head. This is the exact type of blindside hit that the NHL and its players have been trying to remove from the game for the past 15 years. And honestly, they've done a pretty good job, especially when you consider how often it used to happen, but still, occasionally you'll see a replay of some absolute goof doing something like this, and man, I'm livid. Boeser left the game and didn't return, and at the time of recording this video, we don't know if he'll be out long-term or short-term, or if he'll even be out at all. Tanner Jeannot has been contacted by the league and will likely be given a multi-game suspension, but man, I'm pissed. Now, although it won't make up for what we just saw, the good news is that Boeser's teammates stepped up and absolutely dominated the Kings for the rest of this game. Let me show you what I mean. First, the Canucks were getting their sticks in the way of everything, barely giving the Kings a chance to string any offense together. Especially Elias Pettersson, he was lights out in the defensive zone all night. Second, Vancouver's transition game was the best I've seen it since last season. The puck would enter their zone, but before any LA skater could blink, it was heading right back up the ice in the opposite direction. Now, everyone knows the Canucks have Quinn Hughes to thank for most of that, but it wasn't just him. Here's Tyler Myers using his veteran poise and patience to make a great breakout pass out of his own end. And then here's the newest Canuck, Erik Brannstrom, using his edges and playmaking ability to alleviate some pressure and send the puck up the ice. I love it. Third, the Canucks' penalty kill continued its dominance thanks to clutch saves by Lankinen, stellar defensive play from Pettersson, and more veteran calmness from Myers. By the way, Vancouver killed off 88% of the penalties they took in this video. I know it's just 6 games, but for context, the best penalty kill in the league last season was the Carolina Hurricanes at 86.4%. So yeah, that's pretty good. Fourth, they were physical. PD pummeled Anderson, Sherwood bumped Gavrikov, Desharnais flattened Fogle, Sherwood dumped Clark, Ratu thumped ex-Canuck Kyle Burrows, Chief Keef disposed of Spence, PD donked Clark, Soucy puck blocked McLovin, and then Soucy dunked on Lewis, then PD knocked Lewis over. The Kings were frustrated, and the kid Brant Clark took out some of that anger on Quinn Hughes, who had this to say.
It's a 3-1 game. It's a 3-1 game. You're fucking nothing.
Oh right, the score, I forgot about that part. Let me rewind back to the moment Boeser got injured. Tanner Jeannot was handed a match penalty and the Canucks were given a 5-minute power play. Perfect timing for me to highlight the 5th way Vancouver dominated this game. Skill. The Canucks are a team filled with skilled players up and down their lineup, and boy did they look like it in this one. First, it was JT Miller using his top-tier hockey IQ to find Connor Garland backdoor on the power play to tie the game at 1-1. Then it was Jake DeBrusk pulling off an incredible move for his 3rd goal in the last 3 games to put Vancouver up 2-1. That's the best goal of the year so far for the Canucks in my opinion. Look at the silky sweet hands on this guy, it's just beautiful. And we're not done there. Up next, it was Quinn Hughes dancing on the blue line, accidentally casting a spell on the poor Kings forward Akil Thomas, who was just trying to play the game he grew up loving, before shooting through like 85 dudes to put the Canucks up 3-1. Also, real quick, listen to what Miller said after the game when asked about the level Quinn Hughes is playing at right now.
Yeah, it's pretty elite, especially when we're playing man-on-man teams. I feel bad for the, I would suck trying to cover him up there. So he's our leader. He's playing great. Won the Norris last year, so we have a high expectation for him, and he's obviously playing up to that.
And finally, the 6th reason Vancouver dominated this game, coaching. When Rick Tocchet has this team playing the way he wants them to, they are so dangerous. And while most of what I already covered can be attributed to coaching in some way or another, here's 2 quick examples of what I mean. First, there was a moment in the 3rd period where the Canucks turned the puck over in the offensive zone, but instead of panicking, Aatu Räty looked around, found his man, stayed in position, and when the Kings went to make a play, he intercepted the pass and sent the puck the other way. Fantastic. Second, the day before this game, Rick Tocchet had the players practicing scoring on an empty net from their own end. Apparently, if they missed the net, they had to skate a lap. And I don't know how long they did this for, but check this out. Up by 1 goal with just over a minute left in the game, this happened.
And now the pass intercepted by Miller, goes for the empty net, scores!
Perfect. It was perfect, but I hope Brock Boeser is okay. Anyway, the Canucks won 4-2, improving their record to 7-2-3 with a points percentage of .708, which is good enough for 8th in the entire league. That's pretty good. I'm happy. Anyway, if you want a chance to be shouted out in the next video, comment your predictions for the next 2 games against the Edmonton Oilers and the Calgary Flames. But make sure you format it like this or I won't see it. Thanks to these wonderful nuckheads for supporting the channel by clicking the join button. Seriously, if you like this channel and want to see it continue into the future, that's one of the best ways you can support what I do. It's cheap, easy, and I even do some merch giveaways from time to time. So think about it, mull it over, but if it's not for you, that's all good because watching these videos is extremely helpful as well. So thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Let's